Boom. Richard Learmont, are you here with us now?
I'm very much here right now.
As am I. Chris Thiele is here too. So, all right, we're talking. We just decided to press the record button. So the context is, in the context of our conversation, is diversity and inclusion, if you want to call attach words to a conversation. So, and one of the things we just noticed as we're looking at ourselves is, I'm a white guy and you're a black guy, right? Didn't even make
Right.
that distinction. But let's go ahead and bring out the conversation we were just having about what it's like in the context of our reality to make sure that we're diverse and inclusive in the context of the way the world is today.
And in the context of business that we were talking about, earlier,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's a huge topic and it's a very important one, and the world, not just in America, but it's around the entire globe that this whole distinction between your complexion, your the color of your vehicle. I mean, this is a vehicle we're traveling in. This is our spacesuit. You know what I mean? And we've got different types. It's like, what are you driving? A Toyota? Or are you driving a BMW? So, what color is your
I
what
know
is
my
your
my
car?
spacesuit is a premium spacesuit. I love this spacesuit, right? And I think that's part of it too. Is you got to love the suit you're in and take care of it, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the personal development. You got to love yourself, and enjoy it and appreciate it, and everything changes, But yes, but we see in the disparity of how this world has been set up for us, there are a lot of people who don't grow up with that luxury, I suppose. They, it's even to have these kinds of conversation. It's very difficult for them because they grow up in poverty and it's, trying to find the next meal is something it's their importance. But here we're having a conversation about diversity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
So
people have belief systems. They're raised with belief systems. And as I process this, you know, I'm processing this through my filters, right? So when I say that, I think about belief systems, and I talk about, you know, you know, there's so many ways that you could chunk up diversity. Could be color of the skin, could be gender, right? Could
mhm,
be ethnicity, could be so
mhm,
many ways to chunk it
mhm,
up. And
mhm,
it's funny because as I talk about the belief system that I was raised in a certain geography of the United States of America that had a kind of a collective belief system in the Midwest in northern Indiana. And let's just stick to the context of race for the purpose of this conversation, Richard, because we
okay,
could go deep in rabbit holes of diversity.
you
I
got it.
was raised in the cornfields of Indiana that, the color of your skin didn't matter. It just didn't matter, right? Yeah, some people that I went to school with in elementary school, they were raised that, people with certain skin colors were less significant than others, right? So I think just to kind of dovetail off what you just said, back to belief systems and where we are and how we're raised and what's happening in our family of origin based on those belief systems is what influence us to be accepting or not, aware of the reality that we're human beings first, in spirits and souls first, not meat packages with skin colors on them first. But let's talk about that. I mean, you're in New York, right? What's it
Mhm.
like around racial discrimination from your perspective in New York? Is it rampant these days? Is it okay these days? What's your angle on
Oh my God, it's as we know, it's front and center. From where I grew up, where I was born in Trinidad in the Caribbean. And there, of course, you've had colonialism there. And so there's this, it's there, it's the racism thing, it's there too. But how it's dealt with, it's very different than how it's dealt with here in America. But I remember growing up as well, and around family members or friends who are darker skinned, black, and those of us who are lighter skin, like my brown skin and lighter skin, there's a sort of like not necessarily a caste system, but it's a privilege. You kind of like, it's there. It's embedded. It's embedded there. I've seen it in different countries. I've seen it. It's in Africa. It's around the world. This quality of how we uh, uh, qualify each other based on skin color, and that goes back so far back. I mean, it's a primitive kind of thing, you know, and how it's been set up in the system of how we do business. It's in there, and it affects us all, of course. And yes, in New York City, it's huge here, of course, and it's diverse as New York is. You've got all walks of life here, you know, people from every country. The bloodlines are completely mixed up, and it's beautiful to really see this and encounter that. But it's still here, you know, it's all around. Is this going to go away anytime soon? I don't think so. It's going to take, you know, how many thousands of years maybe for us to get to that place of cleaning this up. But there are things in which we have pockets, and there are ways in which we can have communities, you know, already building out and developing and raising their kids with this new kind of awareness of understanding the science of differentiation. You know, it's not just based on our skin color. I mean, having this skin color and having, you know, we bring different things to the mix, and it's beautiful, and that's the beauty of it. And what I love about this study that I've been doing, human design, the study of our differences, it's so beautiful. It really teaches us, you know, how to really recognize our true essence, our true selves. You know, does the other thing go away? Well, it goes away when your awareness expands and you begin to recognize yourself as beyond your color. And but yeah, and then maybe, you know, you can develop ways of how you can share this with your teammates, your company, your work, and bringing this well, this is my intention anyway, to bring this to the world, you know, along with others, and to awaken them to this new way, and yeah, so we can start educating, you know, others, and you know, to spread this out more, and wake up to the fact that, you know, it's time to wake up, you know, and go beyond this skin color, this primitive kind of way of behaving.
And even
So,
if it's just us, you know, it's funny as I'm listening to what you're saying, you're right. It's going to take a long time, but you know, there's so many metaphors on this, you know, that I guess the key to making a difference is that it's got to start with us. It's got to start with you. It's got to start with me,
mhm,
right? And that's what I love to do is as a professional facilitator is get people in a room together and have these conversations. That's how I think it's done.
mhm.
I could probably throw in your face how appropriate I think it is not to be a racial discriminating person, but that's not what I'm here to do. What I'm here to do is to confront you, basically us, with our reality, whether it be a team of people in a business or, you know, again, I could sit here and pass judgment and tell you all day long how I think you should be, and not you, Richard, necessarily, but anybody here.
Mhm.
But
Absolutely,
that's not
I
what
agree.
I'm here to do. I'm here to confront you, give us an opportunity to confront what we believe. And maybe some people think that what they believe is perfectly fine and they don't want to change it, right? And that's another paradigm that we got to confront as well. So I think in the context of effectiveness and collaboration and working together and making it work together, it's important that we have these conversations, you know, in a group, right? That's what I like.
I agree, and I love that. I love that what you said. You know, you're here to, you know, have opened up these conversations, have these dialogues, so people can really get to discover what it is, you know, it's true for them. Um, I mean, on my perspective, I see myself as a messenger. You know, this information and this technology and this way, it came to me, and when it came to me, it took years, and it taught me something that completely changed my life, and understanding really truly who I am and how I'm here to navigate this earth plane, you know, with the most effective, efficient, the most respectful way from how I approach things and come into contact with each other. And it has to do with letting go of some of the old ways in which I've been educated and taught, and not taught, of how to do it. You know, we came into this world and there was no manual, basically. Yeah, we jumped into we're given these birth suits, these vehicles, and but no manual on how to do it, no manual in terms of how to get involved with relationships, you know, any of that. We had to figure it out. And so this information, this knowledge, the human design system that came, it is so perfect. It's really here for that. So I feel in my role as a messenger in that sense is really to help bring this information to people, bring it to communities, and really for them to experiment with it themselves. And if they want to go deeper into really learning how to implement this, and it's very specific into their businesses, into their families, into their communities, yeah, then that's what we're here to do, you know, and to really show this simple way and effective way, and to change the way of how we behave and you know, improve our lives. You know, it's a way of refining it. You know, that's what we keep doing. We're refining as we progress.
Right. And just
And
like we're doing in these conversations, I think we're refining the way we think. I mean, and every time I talk to you, Richard, something changes. I was like, there's a refinement, there's a nuance, right?
Mhm.
And refining, I think, is a process. Just like you refine, you know, whatever, oil or gas, right? It requires heat. You got to apply it, you know,
Mhm.
to refine the character and refine the spirit. Some of the time you got to go ahead and take yourself on and confront and maybe apply some heat, you know, metaphorically.
Well, yeah, in order for mutation to take place, because that's what happens in refinement, it mutates into something new. And so for that mutation to happen, there's always this heat process. There's always this heating up for something new. And, you know, that's what's going on our planet right now. It is heating up because there's something new coming out of it, something new about to emerge. And so I think, yeah, this knowledge is really here to help us, is to help business leaders. And I think that's what we're here to do. We're here to help business leaders really discover this new way of how they can implement some incredible, simple, and profound strategies for understanding their people, so that they can reach more people and you know, help the world to be a better place.
Cool. Let's do more of this, right?
Right on.
So reach
Game
out. By
on.
the way, this video that you're watching, if you're watching this video, notice how it's deployed. There's connection information. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Richard. If you want to have a conversation and continue it on, let's keep it going. Let's keep the conversation going, not just with you and I, Richard, but with this community.
Absolutely. Yeah. Reach out to us.
All right. Till next time. Thanks.
Until then.